Hi, I'm Christina, also known as K-Choi, and I'm a content creator making videos about my life as a consultant and working and living in New York. Currently though, I'm in Nashville because I am traveling for work, so I am coming to you from my hotel room. I also co-host a podcast called Samcha Podcast with two of my friends, Megan and Christine. So with my full-time job, my YouTube channel, and my podcast, I definitely stay busy. Today, I want to share with you how I use Confluence by Atlassian to collaborate with my podcast co-hosts and organize our content and keep track of our goals and tasks. We already have a space in Confluence for our podcast with several different pages, and in these pages we're able to keep track of episode topics, publishing dates, as well as reference and information that we refer to in some of our episodes. The reason I wanted to chat with you today is because I know that sometimes using a new tool can be really daunting and it can be overwhelming to try and figure out all of the features of a product. Some people might also find it difficult to start with a blank slate and not really know where to begin. So I'm going to show you how I'll use Confluence's templates to add some new pages to our Samcha podcast space. There are two pages that I'm looking to add to this space. One of them is a page to outline our content strategy. So that's content other than our podcast itself. That means social media, blog posts, maybe even a newsletter. We've been doing pretty well on the social media and Instagram front, but I would love to have a plan for expanding our content strategy beyond that. And then the second thing I'm looking to add is a page to plan our merch launch. We've been talking about designing some merch to sell to our listeners, so I think starting a page to help plan that would be super helpful. So I'm going to start by going to the templates page and just browsing the different templates that they have available. As you can see, there's different categories that you can look for. I think for the content strategy one, it'll be in marketing and sales, and there is a content strategy template right there. I'm just going to start it for now. Merch launch, I'm going to look under product management. I do see there's a product launch template. You can see when I click on it, you can see a little preview on the right side. So I think there's some things in here that will be more applicable than others, but again, the point of a template is not to necessarily use it exactly as is, but to have a starting point so you're not starting with just a blank slate, which again can be really overwhelming. I'm going to start with the content strategy one, and I'm going to use the template, and it's going to add it to my Samcha podcast space as a new page. And all of this that I do is going to be a first pass, but it's just to show you how easy you can get things started. Outline our plan for all content other than the podcast itself. This, of course, I'm just kind of drafting some on my own, but I can collaborate with my podcast co-hosts on this, so they could be in this at the same time. We can collaborate live, we can tag each other in things. So this is just like a really great setup for any team environment. And they already have an example here of a goal that says create a unified brand voice. I do like that, so I'm gonna steal that. Maybe here I will put months. I think another goal will be to really think about what we want to share on blog posts and newsletters. So maybe it's develop a content calendar for newsletters. I want to put in some check marks here, so I'm going to use the check mark option up at the top. Maybe it's brainstorm ideas for newsletter content, and then maybe in September we're drafting some newsletters. Let's look over at this next part of the template. It says content strategy planning. So I'm taking the action items here and then placing those in these boxes, understanding what we're already doing well to identify where we can improve. I don't think this column with the content is necessarily applicable here, and I think also maybe I don't need this one for this stage, so I'm actually just going to delete the column. And you can see how easy it is to just customize based on your needs. Let's look at the next area here. It says content channels. First, we've got Instagram. For our Instagram, our tone is casual, but also a little motivational. And then a key success metric, I think, is views on Reels, likes, and followers. Let's do like another one here. So we've got our channel, which would be the newsletter distributed via email, long form text with photos and GIFs probably. This is honestly so helpful because You know, if I were trying to create this page by myself, there would be so much that I need to do. Like even just creating the table, it's like I have to think about how many rows and columns and what the columns are, but they just have it ready for me. And then if there's something that doesn't apply, I can just get rid of it or change it, which is awesome. They've also got an editorial calendar section here. I think I'm not going to be able to fill this one out quite yet because we really are just getting started on thinking about the different types of content. And then finally at the end here, we've got resources. So for example, I think we might see examples of blog posts or newsletters that we really like, and we could put those in here as a resource. So if I publish this as is right now, I take you back to the pages, you'll see here's Hamcha content strategy. It's here, and I love that the table of contents here gets updated. So I can click editorial calendar, it'll take me right there. This is honestly going to be so helpful to continue filling out and developing our content calendar down the road. So let's go back to our templates, and now let's look at the product launch template. I'm going to use the template, add it to our space. I'm going to call this Hamcha merch. This template I think is more created with like a product manager lens, but I'm interested to see how I can apply it for a physical like merch product launch. This will be a good section for us to fill out market research. So info about the state of the market, trajectory, demand for the product you're launching. We are thinking about doing a tote bag. So we could do some research and analysis. I'm going to put TBD here, but put in tote bag and stickers. Those are the two ideas we have. We'll put it in red so it's clear that it's in progress. One goal I think could be to acquire new listeners because, you know, if we make really cute merch, it could potentially expand to people who haven't heard of our podcast, and they'll maybe be interested in buying it, or someone might see it on the street if someone's wearing it. So that'd be cool. I'll show you what other types of things are here in the template. So they've got target personas. So just who we think is going to be buying this merch. There's messaging and positioning. I find that the product descriptions can make or break if you want to buy something. Maybe not break if you want to buy something, but it can definitely help push you in the direction of buying something if the description is, you know, very informative, but also a little fun and clever. I'm going to just put some notes here. Make sure it's informative, but also fun, clever, and in our tone of voice. I like this idea of having a product promise. So for example, with our tote bag, we definitely want something that is really high quality. So I'm going to just put some notes here: high quality, functional, and cute design. This is seriously making me so excited just to get more into this. I really like the way that this roadmap planner is done. It says to edit work streams or dates, select the placeholder below and tap the pencil icon. I can add like a new lane for things. I can add bars here. Ooh, and then if I move it into the other lanes, it automatically changes color, and I can change the length like that. I'm going to customize this a little bit more. I'm going to get rid of this table, and I'm going to add a table of contents because I loved the table of contents in the other page. So I've just added that in. And now when we publish it, we will see the table of contents here, and we can go ahead and click to any part of the table of contents and it'll take us to that section. If you have just one takeaway from this video, I hope it's how easy it is to use Confluence templates to create pages for your space. You just saw for yourself that in however many minutes this video took, I was able to start a rough plan for our content strategy and our product or merch launch. If you're unsure of where to begin, definitely use the templates to your advantage. And even if you end up changing a bunch of things, it's much easier to do that than to just start from scratch. But also the great thing is that Confluence pages are so customizable that if you do want to start from scratch, you can do it all. I hope you found this video helpful and that you could see how Confluence powers the teamwork to tackle any project, no matter how big. Thank you so much for watching this video, and be sure to check out Confluence by Atlassian to see how to make what's impossible alone possible together.